pause that for a little bit, but that's my little tune. I really like that song because it explains us. It's like we are the lost and the found. We don't know where we at, but we're on solid ground. And that's what I like to, invite into my life all the time. It's like we never know what's ahead of us. We never know what tomorrow looks like, but we know that if we go in with a great attitude, a great, mentality, anything that we anything that comes our way, we're able to tackle it. We're able to, endure, we'll say. That's my one of my favorite words. Um so this is part 2 of Stuck in the Stigma, but I wanted to kind of, if you did not listen to that podcast, please go do that before you even start this one. Um, but I kind of wanted to start off from where I left off there. Back in that podcast, we were just, talking about how we tend to get stuck in this stigma and this stereotypical kind of view. And it's all because we believe a lie. And the other person who, believes that lie as well, they're the ones who's putting us in this kind of stereotype category or whatever. But it was a just kind of a little of an insight of how I felt and how it affected me at one point in my life, for a short point, and it can affect a lot of people. Sometimes it doesn't, and hey, more power to you if it doesn't. But what I kind of wanted to talk about today was stagnant, guys. What's stagnant? I put the definition for stagnant right there. Um, it's a body of water or an atmosphere. Do you see that, guys? It can be an atmosphere um, of a confined space having no current or flow, and often an unpleasant smell as a consequence. And there's also another definition that's right there, showing no activity, dull, and sluggish, stagnant. So I wanted to focus more on that word today, because that word, like, it just, come on, like, it could be a body of water or it can be an atmosphere. So something that's stagnant is just, it's confined, and there's nothing coming in, nothing coming out. And that's the mindset that we start to build when we believe that these lies, um and then it grows. The thing that is it's funny is because it grows a nasty smell. Like, it can grow a nasty smell because there's nothing coming in, coming out. So that's like, wow, because we ourselves, when we stay stuck in this stigma, in this in this stereotypical kind of viewpoint, because of what we are told, what we believed, what we see, being born and raised, or even just growing up in the hood or in the ghetto, in poverty, period, less fortunate, we tend to develop this stagnant mindset. And the reason I chose like stagnant is because, like, nothing else flows in, meaning we are not allowing different thoughts to formulate. We're not accepting more. We just tend to stay this like confined space, this confined thinking, this confined mindset that only develops an odor for our life. And this odor, it it's not a good odor. So what kind of odor do you want for your life, And think about that. Like, the way that we think develops this odor, like what we think that we're able to do and what we think that we're not able to do, that's what we do. And so if we can kind of like, get out of that, stagnant way of thinking that kind of, oh, this is all I'll ever be. Oh, there's, like that victim kind of mindset. We can allow new thoughts to flourish. We can allow new things to come into our lives. We can like adapt a new way of thinking, but it's ultimately up to us. And not only that, it's like if we don't, guess what happens? Our mindset becomes stagnant. We stay the same. We develop these habits that we don't like. We just become what we shouldn't be in the first place. And the thing that hurts me the most is not only do we hurt ourselves, but we're hurting the next generation as well. We're hurting our children. We're hurting like their children because we're not teaching them any better. We're not showing them any better. So we have to lead by example. And it breaks my heart because it's like a domino effect, like you think a certain way and then the next person thinks a certain way and then it just like falls down and we just fall and crumble. And it's like we have the ability to change. And I I don't allow my children to say I can't. Like they cannot say that word. Like they cannot say it because I say if you can't then you won't. And it's very true, if we can start building ourselves up, then we can start building our children up into believing more for themselves. And you know what? You're not done. You want to know why? Because you're still breathing. It's not the end for you because you're still here. It's just the beginning, and it all starts with how you think. Yes, the way of life, has had a toll on us. Yes, we were brought up a bit different than others. Yes, our trials, our tribulations, everything was a little bit difficult, but that, if anything, it should motivate us. And it does the complete opposite. And that's what I'm like, no, like it shouldn't it should encourage us rather than discourage us. It should motivate us to do more. Instead we accept less, excuse me. So it's like, and it all begins with our mindset. So there's this book that I read. Okay. I was very like negative, we'll say, like because I had that mindset, that stagnant mindset that wasn't able to see beyond my current situation. And so I read this book, and I was actually working for Dare America, drug abuse resistance education. You guys all remember Dare. I don't know if you do, but I don't remember it, but my brothers and sisters did. But I worked for them, and I would stand outside and collect, donations. And for this, let's get Dare back into schools, no bullying, no, and I would ask for donations, and and people would just walk right past me and I would tell myself like, I can't do this. Like this, don't nobody want to donate to me. Like, come on, people got other things to buy. And I will never forget my boss at that time. His name was Jeff Valerie. I hope if you see this comment, like Jeff. But Jeff was like, you got to open your mind up. Like you it's your mindset that you're saying, oh, people won't accept this, people won't donate, people won't, so of course people won't, because look, who would? If you're thinking like that, you're only attracting what you think. And I'm like, like I was like, and I was negative, because I was like, what? Like, no, it's just like people are broke, people. And he's like, no, like people aren't broke. People will donate. You just got to make them see what they're donating to. You got to make them understand what it is that, like, we can like what their money can go to, a good cause. Like but your mindset is breaking it all off. It's not even allowing you to accept anything good or any donations. And I'm like, what? Like, okay. So he's like, I want you to read a book. I'm like, okay. So he gives me the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Man, that book changed the way I thought, you know? And it really opened my horizons. I'm like, "Whoa," like, I I only get little and accept little because my mind is little, my brain, my thinking capacity isn't big. And so that's why I can't see past my current situation. And it was pretty sad because it was the truth. And I was like, wow, like it was just amazing how over time, like within a month, and Jeff, if you see this video, go ahead and give a comment. Within a month, um, my mindset began to change. My mindset began to grow, and I was like getting more donations. I was getting so like excited about stuff because I thought differently. I would say, you know what, this is possible. I can do this. This is, instead of don't nobody want to donate to me, don't nobody got money for that, I would say, you know what, I'm gonna get this package today. I'm there. And what do you know? I would hit ring bell. We would say ring bell, I would hit your goal, and I was having fun while doing it. Instead, when I first started, I was dreading it. I'm like, "What?" Like, because I was so negative. Um, but changing my whole mindset, it was like, "Wow, I needed this because now I can see further. Now I can understand why I was attracting these things in my life, Now I can understand why I was just getting less because of my thinking." And we never really truly understand that until we put it to the test. So, Jeff, I'm gonna actually tag you in this so you can, comment. But, um, anyways, after I had left there, I had to leave because I ended up getting diagnosed, and I got diagnosed with a form of cancer, and it was in my underarm, and I was in so much pain, yes, but I believe like the Lord, s- he put that, he put, that job in my direction, in my path for a reason because he wanted me to work on my mindset before this, before I encountered this. Okay. So then I encountered that. And when I encountered this, I encountered it head on like, no, I'm going to be great. Yeah, I don't feel good, but I feel great. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I was so positive about this whole, cancer thing. And yeah, I was in pain. Yes, I was under medication. Yes, I was throwing up like crazy. And Frank, he was there for me. My best friend, one of my best friends at that time, he was there for me. And I just, yeah, and my mom too, of course. But I was just not myself. But I worked on my mindset prior to this. And because I worked on my mindset prior to this, I was able to endure. I was able to get through that. I was able to beat it. But I think about it now, like if I would have never changed my mindset, if I would have never changed the way I used to think, like my thinking pattern, I probably would have let that overcome me. And I probably would have not have beaten it. I would have just been in that whole stagnant mind, like poor me kind of thing. And so, anyways, enough about that. But all I'm saying is we got to change the way we think. Think about it. Negative thoughts attract negative things. Negative, it takes away from you. Positive thoughts, positive things attract positive. So, in order to beat anything, we got to beat that thinking process first. And our minds are so amazing how God developed our minds, how he created the ability that we have inside of our brains, like how we can think and how we are using a neural pathway right now. Okay. It's like a road. And when we think, we go through that road all the time, all the time, all the time, but we can create new ones. So, yeah, you can create a new road and it is going to feel different at first, you starting to think differently. But eventually, it'll become a neural pathway. You can develop a whole new way of thinking, and that other one dies off. dies off. So our neurons in our brains have that ability to do that. Like, we have the ability to create a whole new thinking process. We just got to try it. We just got to do it so much that it becomes a new road for us to go down rather than the old one. And so I just wanted to end this, stop getting stuck in the stigma. It's like, stop getting stuck in the stagnant thinking as well. Stop getting stuck in that struggle mindset. Stop struggling with your mindset. Stop allowing your mind to dictate your future, and stop allowing your thoughts to tell you who God has created you to be, because some of them are lies, and we'll believe it without even trying, without even, giving ourselves a chance. And so that's what I just wanted to end this off with, is just remember, like, what you've done in the past, how you've lived, yes, it was hard, but you endured all of those struggles, all of those things for a reason. And it's not to just be stagnant. It's not to just not make it. Like, we overcame all of these struggles in our lives to make it. Why? Because we got to make it for our children. We got to make it for the next generation. And where does it stop? It stops with us. These generational curses, we can break them. We have the ability. It's in our mind. We don't need anything right now. What if I told you this? Everything you need in life, you already have it. Did you hear me? Everything you need in life, you already have it. It's true. So start using it. Start telling yourself, you know what, I got this. You know what, yeah, it didn't work this time, but it's gonna work this time. Be more positive. Uplift your children. Tell them how smart they are. Tell them how they're gonna make it. Like, just encourage. Start encouraging yourself, because you deserve it. And especially if you've been through a lot, especially if your life has been hard, encourage that, because those pains, those weaknesses, all of those, God is using that for something greater, but we won't allow him to. We won't allow it because we want to stay stagnant. And that's not okay. It's not, because it damages us and it damages the next generation after us. So it starts with you, okay? It starts with me, and it starts with how we think and how we are with each other, Uplift someone, encourage someone, tell them, you're there if they need you. Let them know how much of a good job they're doing. Like, hey, I just want to say I'm proud of you. So that's how I'm going to end this episode, guys, is we can change our stagnant behavior, our stagnant minds, our stagnant way of living. We have that ability to change it. It's just on us. Do we want to create a new neural pathway, or do we want to keep going down the same one? That's on you. So I hope you like this episode, and I will be checking in with you guys shortly. I do have some special guests that are going to be starring on my show, just sharing their lost experience here on earth, and helping, encouraging, loving, and caring for one another by sharing their testimony, sharing how they got out, of this lost feeling, because we all feel it. But we are found. So that's all that matters, right? Well, I'll see you guys till next time. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Bye.